Hey folks, it's Greg and Janet with Strange RV Tours. We're out in East Texas today near Hawkins, Texas, and we're here to check out one of the Rosenwald schools that were built all over our country for black students primarily. So I'm going to show you a historical marker here for it, which you can pause and read if you'd like. All right, gang, Janet's got more information about the school.
Supposedly, this is the last one standing. There's 5,300 buildings, schools, and teachers' homes that were built with this program. Now, as you can see, it's Rosenwald was Julius Rosenwald, who was a Jewish German immigrant that lived up north, okay? And he started out with clothing, you know, for the men that were going to the Civil War, different sizes of clothing. Well, he got involved with the Sears and Roebucks and became a bigwig there. And with Goldman Sachs and Paul Sachs actually introduced him to Booker T. Washington, who was the Tuskegee University founder and principal, okay? That was in Alabama. They got together and started a whole big program for black students, African-American children that needed education. It was so bad back then, so bad. And so throughout the South, they got the communities for the public schools, whites and blacks, and everybody got together. Some big wigs were donating, and they promoted getting their communities to invest in the education of the black children. Okay, back then, when they got this all going, they were spending 5 times as much money on a white child's education than a black child. You know, so that's not cool. I mean, they were given leftover books, leftover textbooks, you name it. But this building right here is like the only one left standing. But in the 50s, they started to integrate out here in the Hawkins area. So they demolished most of the schools, but Falk Hawkins High School was integrated in the late 50s, and there was no big rioting or nothing like that. They all came together and the children went to school together. That's what I was told, that all the people were cool with it out here. You know, it's awesome. And I saw an old yearbook that was posted, some of the pictures with the, you know, student athletes, and it was all black, white, whatever, you know, it didn't matter. They were all a community, and that's so important, and that's part of history. But I'm really surprised. This is now a community center. Falk is not an actual town, it's a community, never had a post office. So this is what they have standing now, and I think it's amazing that Booker T. Washington, which was inspired to get education to the black children, and the communities followed in. I mean, everybody donated, and even Roosevelt thought Washington was a fabulous person. And, you know, that's amazing that these guys got together and really cared. And that's, back then, there's so much racism and stuff. But out here, it seems like they all came together, everybody did. And that's awesome.
Let's take a look at this place. Now, I saw where at one time there was 111 black students attending school here and 17 white students.
Oh, they, at this,
I believe I read that, so there may have been during the time they were building the new school or something, I don't know. But
That's pretty cool. It's in pretty good shape.
yeah, it's in real good shape. 100 years old. Or a little older, I guess.
Right. Now, when we were driving around this area, you could see to a certain spot some of the older homes, and we did stop and talk to a guy on a tractor with his kid. He said, this house down at the end of the road is the end of the old houses. Everything in this area is like 100, almost 200 years old. He said, and anything beyond that is newer. But that old, there's an old cemetery. I mean, it's awesome.
This is the old playground here. Got a barbecue pit over there. And the basketball court over here, grass basketball court. And now, the old schoolhouse is now being used as a community center. Wasn't it also a church at one time or something?
I think there's a pastor that used to teach and have church service here also.
Okay. Okay. It's got a newer roof on it. Looks like it's in real good shape. Somebody's taking good care of it. The community.
Yeah.
This is the back side of the school. They do have a ramp here.
Look, you can see the old wood siding.
Yeah. Sure can.
It's got this vinyl stuff on it now. Can you see in the window? Mm-hmm.
So this is the last remaining of the Rosenwald schools.
Yeah.
Out of 5,300 schools, this is the last one remaining. Huh?
They said some of the schools would just have one teacher. Some would have up to 7 teachers. But they said that it all started in Alabama, but it's all in the South. So all these schools were all in like Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, and from what I understand, after they started integration and stuff, they just started tearing the old ones down. So, and there is a Falk Hawkins school in Hawkins that they did move to, and that was in like 1950 something. But in 1961 is the yearbook pictures I saw. And then now there is a Hawkins High School that's just totally separate, and there's a middle school.
Well, this is something for the town to be proud of.
Yes.
Beautiful.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us here near Hawkins, Texas. This is part of history, and they're keeping this intact because it is important. It is important to, you know, our history. Mm-hmm. Thanks for watching. Check out our Patreon. We got stuff going on there too. Totally separate. Totally separate. All right, you guys take care.
Goodbye.
Strange RV tours will take you places with Greg and Janet's smiling faces. You might see a crazy flavored soda review or some tips to fix your RV too. So come along, won't you join us, friend, as we discover what's around the bend. Just sit right back in your easy chair. Strange RV Tours is on the air. Strange RV Tours is on the air.